Evening, everyone. Welcome to Nerds of the North. It's time to continue in with the Wheel of Time. Now, I told you last time that I'd have a special item to show you for this episode. I do have it here. I will show it when we get to that point. But it is time to talk Shadow Rising. We see some interesting stuff in this. We get some interplay with Lanfear. Lanfear trying to seduce and control Rand, and helping protect Rand actually by sending her own force against the Trollocs that are invading the stone. And she's not the one that uses the half-men, or not the half-men, doesn't use the Grey Men. But, she sent enough people in to fight the other Forsaken's army that came in to do the damage, and there's really no scene as pivotal as when Rand realizes that he can't kill them fast enough, and draws through Kalendor and sends out what the role-playing book calls Power Word Kill, and kill all creatures of a specific type within a certain radius. He strikes down every Trolloc, every Myrddraal in the stone at once. It was hilarious. It's awesome. It's a great scene to read. And you find out later on in that book, because you run into Loyal, and Loyal's got a limp, and he's got some cuts and bruises on him, and his entire room is completely covered in flowers. And that's because when the attack happened, Loyal grabbed as many women and children as he possibly could, threw them into a room behind him, and he stood in the doorway and no Trolloc got by. That just goes to show how awesome of a character Loyal is. He doesn't want to get into combat, he doesn't like to fight, but he will protect if it comes to that. We also learn of a new ter'angreal in this. A ter'angreal that takes you to meet the eelfin, the snake people. And this is where it starts bringing in that game, the Snakes and Foxes game. And you go in there, and sure enough, you find out about the ter'angreal because Moraine's going to use it. Well, Matt finds out about it. And Matt decides he's going to go and use it. At the same time, however, we discover that Rand went to go and use it, because you deal with Matt in there first, in the ter'angreal, where he gets told some very interesting things about himself. 1. You will die and then live again. 2. You will marry the daughter of the 9 moons. And 3. You'll give up half the light of the world to save the world. These are sentences that all come into play later on. One actually comes into play in this book. But they weren't supposed to tell him that. It was the strain of having a ta'veren in there. Of actually having 2 ta'veren in the ter'angreal at the same time, as well as an Aes Sedai. So he got some answers that he probably shouldn't have gotten. I love how Matt's character got away with this crap, because he's always the trickster, the gambler, the pain in the ass to deal with. Now, we also have Rand deciding what he has to go and do. At the same time, we find out that the Two Rivers is in peril. And with the Two Rivers being in peril, Perrin decides Rand can't go and look after this. Matt's got to go and do something else. I am going to go and take care of this. So he takes off through the ways. Pardon me. Goes to the Two Rivers to try and save his family. But he's too late. And that's a crushing blow to this character. His entire family has been slaughtered. Now, we never met them. We never met the Abaras. His entire family has now been slaughtered. The only people he has left is the Luhans, who were teaching him forging, and Fail and his 2 friends. That's it. That's all he has left. And it really shows the impact that it plays on him. And with Perrin being... Originally, Perrin was my favorite character up until I made it further on into the book series. He does still have his moments, but I like a different character a lot more now. You'll see why. It's just right off camera over here. What else we have going on in the Shadow Rising? This is where Rand decides, I need to move faster, I need to be able to be unpredictable. So he goes, finds a portal stone, and takes the entire Aiel army back to the Waste. Now, Egwene at this point has met up with a Dreamwalker in Tel'aran'rhiod, and has been summoned to the Waste to be trained. Avienda, we discover, can channel. In fact, she's supposed to be becoming a Wise One. So that's going to be interesting to find out later on. At least it is when you're first reading it. We've seen Aes Sedai training. What's Wise One training like? It's interesting. We discover the Atha Mier, the Sea Folk, and the fact that some of their wind finders can channel. And that's pretty powerful, considering how fast they managed to get the Raker moving to get them to Tanchico. The entire point of going back in time through the generations of the Aiel to find out what the Aiel were and why have they failed and how did they become what they are today. The entire vision scene in Ruidion, that is amazing. I love that part. That part is great. And following or preceding that, we have Mat discovering another ter'angreal in Ruidion. Looks quite identical to the one that the Eelfinn were in. So he's decided he's going to go back and he's going to go get more answers. He doesn't get answers. No. He gets to the realm of the Aelfinn, who give items. The Aelfinn grant gifts. Just back up for a second here. Well, what did he say? The Aelfinn will grant you 3 things that you want. If I had my way, I'd have these bloody holes in my memory filled. Done. What? I want a way to be free of Aes Sedai and the One Power. Done. What do you keep saying done for? That's it. I want a way to be free and... I want a way to get away from you and be free of you. Done. The price has been set. You're like, wait, what? What's going on? And then suddenly, Mat can't breathe. The world's going black. And it stops. It stops with you knowing that something's around Mat's neck. You find Rand coming out of the crystal pillars after seeing the entire birth of the Aiel, and seeing that the Tree Brother, the lack of a better term, the Ent, I can't remember exactly what they're called, sorry, but seeing him, and he was one of the ones that was dancing the fields, and I knew his name, but I don't know it anymore. I think it starts with an S. Oh well. But see, you get to see part of what the Age of Legends was like. And that was great. You actually find out now what the song is the Tinkers are after. Because the song was there. It's the song of growing. And wow. Just the fall from being, you know, the Tinkers to being the Gen, to being the Gen Aiel, and then the Aiel. The creation of the Maidens of the Spear. Just phenomenal stuff to be seeing. And when Rand comes out, he finds Mat hanging from a cord as something is stuck to a tree. The cord is stuck into this. Back up here to show you. I have This is a gift from a friend of mine had ordered it for me. It's handmade by a man who runs a little shop called Stick to the Story. You can find him on Facebook. I will leave him the link. You leave the link in here to see. And he's created for me out of wood. This is a one piece of blue spruce. And it's thinner at one end, thicker at the other. You know what? It's hand carved. This thing is all handwork done. There's the crows on the blades. I have some crow's feathers attached to it. I have a point where I can mount the fox head medallion for my convention piece. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera, but I will try. Oh, bloody chair stuck. I will try to get this to show up on camera, but we'll see if we can see it. Yeah, there you go. It's engraved right down the entire length of the blade, or entire length of the staff. And while it's not in the old tongue, because the old tongue wasn't originally translated, I have everything that is written on Matt's Ashendari on mine. Thus is our treaty written, thus is agreement made. Thought is the arrow of time, memory never fades. What was asked is given, the price is paid. This is awesome. And, you know, it's roughly about 5 feet tall. Slightly short for me, but if it was any bigger, I'd have a real hard time moving around the convention floor with this. So, this is my custom-made Ashendari from fantastic man, Dave Bennison, I believe. He's the one that carved this for me from Welland, Ontario. Not exactly local, but I took a nice long bus trip to go down and pick it up because I wanted this, and I'm so happy seeing this now. Like, sure, we have a slight little bit of, you can see here, there's a little bit of a twist in the blade, right? But it gives the Ashendari so much character. And here, I'll try and show you. There you go. It's standing on the ground. Not exact, like it should probably be here, but this is perfect for me for a convention. So there we go. There's my little secret surprise. I have my custom Ashendari, and no one's ever taken it away from me. Matt doesn't even know it's an Ashendari yet. It's a strange spear that he has. Shadow Rising. We have another encounter with Lanfear. We have an encounter with another Forsaken. We get to meet Asmodean in this. We have a big problem with the Shido and Couladin and Savannah. Because Rand is now marked as the Karakarn. He has dragons on both arms. He is the chief of chiefs. And they're on their way to Anker Dal to proclaim himself to the rest of the Aiel. And Couladin this entire time is arguing and fighting, and he gets there first, and he's trying to convince the chiefs, or Savannah's trying to convince the chiefs to let Couladin speak, but Couladin isn't a chief, so why should he speak? They're just the argument's going on, and this time, as it's going on, Rand is making his way into the valley, making his way down into the bowl, the golden bowl, to be able to introduce himself to the chiefs. And finally, when Rand jumps up on stage, Couladin can take it no more. Couladin jumps up on the stage as well. And Couladin starts preaching to the Aiel about how we're going to go back, we're going to retake everything, we are going to be the best, we are warriors, we have always been. And Rand just very, very calmly, Oh, Couladin. You have the marks. What did you see in Ruidion? We all know you can't speak of what's seen in Ruidion. I am not afraid to speak of it. Why won't you? I saw our glory as the Aiel, is it? Okay. I saw the Age of Legends, when we were the Gen Aiel. And this shatters the Aiel, saying it out loud, and Couladin's just screaming the entire time, this is heresy, this is heresy, this is wrong. And the chiefs that are up on stage just solemnly hang their heads a little bit and then look up. Randall Thor is the Karakarn. He broke the Aiel to do so, and at this point, spears be unleashed, and one of the maidens jumps in front of Rand because since Rand has no society, but he's the son of a maiden, the maidens take over his honor. They are his personal honor guard now. And, you know, she jumps in front with the buckler to protect him from a spear, and the fight breaks out, and Matt's standing there with his horse, and he's got his Ashendari in hand, and, come on, Rand, let's get out of here, let's get out of here. At this point, Lanfear shows up, and Rand's trying to do something to stop them from fighting. He's like, I need to stop them from... Thank you, phone. I need to stop them from fighting, and what do? You pull a moment that was done in Dune. Rand al'Thor, the Karakarn, decided to play the Kwisatz Haderach card and make it rain in the desert. That's the one part of the Shadow Rising that angers the fuck out of me. I like Dune. I've never read the book. I've seen the 80s movie. And the moment I was going through the book and Rand made it rain in the desert, I was just like, what? And then now, ever since seeing that, I can't get the similarities between the Aiel and the Fremen out of my mind. It's not working. Oh, why'd you have to make it rain in the desert? But then they go and they have their massive battle in Ruidion, and Rand learns how to skim and do a little bit of traveling, and they're fighting over two of the most powerful sa'angreal ever made. And Rand severs Asmodean from the Dark One's connection, and Lanfear shields him in such a way that the shield will slowly degrade over time. Epic. Shadow Rising and the Dragon Reborn. This is the reason why both of these two videos are being put into the same list. Because the two stories, while they are separate, they really fit so perfectly well together, and it's like a solid flow. This is the reason why both videos are going up on the same day. I had to talk about them both. But I don't think there's anything else that's really incredibly striking to me about the Shadow Rising. You do get to see everybody going into Ruidion. You're not supposed to go into Ruidion unless you have the blood, but Matt gets in there, and Moraine gets in there. We see them being trained as... or Egwene being trained as a Dreamwalker, and she's getting good at being a Dreamwalker now. It just leaves you excited because, you know, Book 4 is done. Book 5, it's bigger. Time for the fires of heaven, folks. So this is Nerds of the North. I'll see you guys next time. My Ashendari. And if you see me at the conventions this year, here's a hint as to what I'm going to try cosplaying as. I have to find a hat. I have to get the boots. I'm pretty sure I have a lace-up shirt, but I'm going to try pulling off Matt Cotham. If you see me, great. If you recognize me, that's going to be even better, because I don't think anyone's going to be recognizing me when I go to these conventions. If I have one person recognize me, I'm going to spend so much time laughing because I didn't think, like, I'm not exactly going to Jordan Con here, right? I'm going to Fan Expo, I'm going to go to the Toronto Comic Con, the Niagara Falls Comic Con, I'm going to go to Con Bravo. I don't think a lot of people are going to recognize someone from the Wheel of Time. But who knows? Hope they do. Maybe I'll run into someone who's decided to dress up as Tuon. That'll be interesting. And I'm not saying any more about that because that's many books away. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time with The Fires of Heaven.